Hey there, just Jeremiah. I am on my way up to Palm Spring with Carrie and her son Kyle.
Hi.
This is take two. We got it this time. We had a crossing. They had to make sure that we weren't harboring any illegal immigrants, and we weren't. So now we're going to do this. So Carrie, we were talking about your nonprofit that you had started, correct?
Yes. Well, it's not formalized as far as like the paperwork because that costs an arm and a leg. The 501c3. But when I worked at County Hospital, which is about 3 years ago, when I left, one of my good friends, Shelly Lazar, she's a OBGYN, we would notice that patients would come in postpartum and they would look frumpy. They'd be wearing like their husband's sweats and and that happens, but everyone would be so interested in the baby versus the mother, and no one would ask, are you okay? Or how are you doing? Is there anything that you need? And then if a mother felt comfortable enough to open up about being, feeling different or feeling, not quote unquote normal, they would just hand over medication. They wouldn't figure out like, is there something else we can do? And one thing as a mother myself, I've learned that, you don't feel too good about yourself because your body just went through, the ringer. You've just had a baby and your hormones are all out of whack. And so at any rate, with that and the mental health issues, I felt that, what could be done to help them instead of just slapping just giving them a medication, and help them look good and feel better. So with resources that I have, I'm a medical esthetician. So I thought, what can I do? So I'm all over the place with this, but, I gather donations with clothing. So what women do is they come to me, and it's on an appointment basis right now, and they actually come to my home, and I'm trying to work and open up a boutique. So where a woman will come in and she can bring someone with her, and they'll pick out an outfit, something, whether it be for an interview or just something to wear every day. They can get a cup of coffee or some tea. They can talk, just feel relaxed. They get I collaborate with others, other people, hairstylists, massage therapists. So we'll get them a massage. We'll get them to go get a manicure, pedicure, a haircut, whatever they, and whether they need it or not, it doesn't matter, if they are disadvantaged or not. They can have all the money in the world. It doesn't matter. What can we do to make them feel better? Because mental health is so important, and it's often ignored and not talked about because people are scared of what other people will think. And I don't want women to feel that they can't talk about it. And also too, there's just so much ignorance, and I feel that we could educate so many people, on different subjects. But aside from helping mothers, the mothers often struggle with, being single parents, not having money for, diapers or formula, or even having questions on breastfeeding. And there's just so many different things that can be done to help people. And it's never ending. There's always something. And also it could be someone who doesn't have children and they're struggling, with anxiety or depression. I personally have anxiety, and I understand it. And sometimes it's just a matter of, learning the tools to help, keep it at bay. But I just want to help. And whether, you have the financial means or you don't have the financial means, whatever, your story is, everybody has a story. And if I can help somebody feel good to where they keep going in life and they don't give up, that's my goal. Because a lot of people give up because they feel they can't talk to someone, or they don't have someone to talk to, or they're afraid to talk to someone. But I think that the more we talk about things and the more that we reach out and we offer things, and I'm also going to collaborate with the social services so that they can just give like a postcard to each person that comes in, regardless of who they are. And it's just going to have, an invite just to contact me, and then I can find out what their story is. And, maybe they don't need anything. They just need someone to talk to. Because a lot of people are not heard. They go to the doctor, they're profiled, they make a decision about their life, or they have, a medical condition, or they're transgender, or they whatever their story is. So many people are judged, and that's why a lot of them give up, and I wanted to keep that from happening. So like I said, I mean, no matter what your story is, if I can help somebody, that's my goal. You know, whether you're a woman, a child, a man, a veteran, a teen, whatever your story is, let's figure it out, you know. I could go on to...
Well, what are some of the beginning branches that led you down this path? What kind of led you to the path to wanting to help people that...
So I've always been like a natural helper. The way I was raised, my mom was a single parent, and she raised me by herself. And when I was 8 years old, my mom, we didn't have anywhere to live, so we were pretty much couch surfing and living out of her car for a short time, and didn't know, what we were going to do. And, traveling, across different states to get back to California. So I know what it's like to, do without. And I was also raised to appreciate everything that I have, because, so many people are focused on material items that, they don't realize it could be gone in a second. And then what do you have? They learn, I just noticed growing up that it's important to be like a community, to help each other. So many people are out for themselves, and knowing what my mom went through, not having help and people abandoning her. She was a nurse, and when she got sick, she was really ill. She lost her leg due to diabetes and MRSA, and when that happened, people dropped off the face of the earth, and she was by herself. And she's raising a child by herself, and because she was on disability, they wouldn't give her food stamps. So she's like, well, how am I going to feed my child on, $700 a month? And, just watching what my mom, went through, and, the mental health issues that she experienced, due to her situation, and growing up with that, it made me want to do more. And then working at county and seeing how, some doctors were there for their patients and didn't judge a patient. And sadly, they are judged. But just being on both sides, like I've been homeless, I've had everything. I've had to rough it. I've had where I've struggled. I've had where I didn't know if I was going to make it to the next day. There's a lot to my story that would probably take another couple of videos or more, but seeing how people treat other people, I just don't think it's right. And I want to be the person that they're not. And helping people, makes me feel better. And, I get told that I need to say no, and that I need to help myself before other people, but I'm the type of person that, I'd give the shirt off my back for somebody. And like I told you before, I don't talk about it, and that's why I don't advertise the nonprofit, because I'm directed to people, and I get pulled to people, like I was pulled to you, and I have that pull to help, and I can't really explain it. So.
Well, one thing I thought was neat is how many parallels we have in our stories of our childhood and stuff, and with our moms and stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, your mother had ended up passing away, correct?
Yes, in 2005, May 3rd, 2005, my mom coded. She went to bed early, and she wasn't feeling well, and I got a call that she had coded, and there was nothing that we could do. She had an aortic aneurysm. We have a genetic disease. I was born with it. So was my mom, and that's another thing that pulls me to the nonprofit, and also I advocate for people that have the genetic disease that I have. I have Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, and it's called an invisible disease, because a lot of the times it's more internal, where you can't see it. People look at you and think, oh, she looks fine, so she must not be sick. And a lot of doctors make the assumption that you're fine based on what you look like. And that happened, with my mom. The doctor just said, oh, you're fine, just go home, we'll run some tests, and they just brushed her off. And she didn't make it to the next day, because she was judged by how she looked. And they thought, gosh, there's something else wrong. And just, like I said, don't judge a book by its cover, But she passed away, and she's not here. And that's another thing, like my mom was always helping other people, no matter what her situation was. She was, the same way. She was pulled to help people. So I guess I get it from her. And then like our mothers, their health and, you know, religious and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it was just real similar. And the fact that I was pulled to help you, and then like when you mentioned your mom, like something about your mentioning your mom, because I feel things. I can't explain it. I like feel things and I get pulled and I get pressure. Like I just feel like and if I don't do it, it'll drive me crazy. And the fact that your mom and my mom your mom just reminds me a lot of my mom, just on the little bit that I know through you.
You'll love, we'll connect on Facebook Messenger or some video or something, and yeah, you'll love to meet her. Yeah, she's so sweet.
Like I said, I want to adopt your mom. She seems like a sweetheart.
Oh, she's so sweet, and she's so smart too. Yeah, she's got a great sense of humor.
Yeah, and like, you know, she's in a home, and like even, you know, just I'm sure she would love to have that, you know, extra person in her life to, you know, let her know that she matters, and that, you know,
100%.
Regardless of what situation she is, life's beautiful, and, you know, and there's always something out there or someone out there that'll make it, you know, make it better. So
for sure. Well, I appreciate you sharing. I thought I'd
sorry, go on.
No, I thought I'd maybe ask you one more question.
Sure.
before we go back to just having our own private conversations.
Sure.
Tell me about an experience when you're helping, when you kind of felt like maybe you weren't having any impact, and then something kind of came around and you ended up feeling like, you know, where, you know, you might have felt discouraged, but you kept at it. And
where I almost gave up.
Yeah, but because you didn't, something special happened. Do you have any type of stories about something like that?
Yeah, this actually happened recently over the holidays. There was a young mother. She was, you know, a recovering drug addict. You know, was on parole. She got off parole, but we met each other, and I felt pulled to help her. And come to find out, she manipulated me and lied to me to, you know, benefit for herself, but not for her child. She had a young little boy, 2 years old, and she called me up one night and she said, I really need someone to watch him. I think he's being abused by his babysitter. At any rate, I just jumped because, you know, there's a little boy involved, and there's just no way in hell I'm going to let him go back to that babysitter.
Of course. And
she, you know, was going to lose her job if she had to call in. So I, you know, picked him up, or went to her house at 5 o'clock in the morning. And when I got in there, I could tell she had, you know, went back into using. And, you know, I wasn't going to judge her, but I was going to be there for her and offer her the help. And, you know, most people would just say, oh, I'm going to call Child Protective Services. I'm going to do, you know, something to, you know, make sure that she can't have her, you know, just like a negative reaction. And I thought, okay, I'm going to let her know that I'm onto her bullshit. Pardon my French. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on YouTube.
After the first 30 seconds, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So I'm on to her, but I said it in a nice way. I'm like, "Are you okay? What's going on?" You know, and she said, "What do you mean?" And I, you know, let her know that I knew that I'm not stupid. And, you know, she opened up to me, and she wanted to go under, you know, rehabilitation and whatnot. But then she actually overdosed her son. She dropped him off at my house, and he was overdosing. She had given him sedatives because she wanted to go out and party, and it's just the fact that she hurt him. And I had to call 911. Because clearly, you know, he was overdosing, he's a baby. And that was really traumatic for me. And my focus was him. And I didn't think about consequences. And rather than her, you know, say, you know, is my son okay? You know, I contacted her, you know, you need to get to the hospital. She didn't go, and because she was scared, which was understandable. But she ended up, you know, losing him into the system. She's getting him back because we did get her the help that she needs. But I wanted to give up because she lied to me, and I mean, there's more to the story, more detail, but the fact that she lied to me and that I was manipulated, and normally I'm really a pretty good judge of character, I was beating myself up, and people were saying, oh, you're stupid for helping people who do drugs, or, you know, you're stupid for helping anybody, and just a lot of judgment from other people, and it just really, I just felt like I was being beat down for my decision, and I was beating myself up, and it just caused a lot of stress, and I almost gave up and almost said I'm just not going to help anybody anymore. I was going to try and protect myself, and, you know, I did a lot of, you know, self-reflection and just sitting and thinking about, you know, what I could have done differently, which really, there really wasn't anything differently, and I knew that it was, on her, not me. But I know, what to look for. But I did want to give up because people do take advantage of others who do try to help people like me. But I've learned, and it's not the first time it's happened, but it doesn't happen as often as it used to. But it's a struggle to offer help, or someone, that does, receive your help, and they take advantage of it. And one thing I ask is just be real, be open and honest. And like I said, I don't care what your story is. You could be a horrible person, like you've done the worst thing that anyone can imagine. That's okay, because we're human. We're all different. And I don't care what your story is. You're someone's child. You're a person. You're a human being, and you deserve a chance. And you should be treated with, you should be treated, like anybody else. That's just the way I feel. But no, I did want to give up. So I get anxiety talking about what happened. But
it means a lot that you're willing to share, even though it does give you anxiety.
Yeah, it's okay. But no, I appreciate you, asking. That's a good question, But I just...
So you're saying that basically you didn't give up, and now you're still here doing something.
Oh yeah, and now I'm gonna go help people in Slab City, and I'm excited, and it makes me happy to know that I can make a difference, regardless of what it is. And even if I'm, I don't want to, if you're gonna lie to me, just don't tell me. And if you say I need X, if I can give it to you, I will give it to you, or I will find it for you. But I would rather not know if you're lying or about your story or whatever. And I don't even need to know your story to help you, But like I just said, just be honest with me or not say anything at all.
So that's why you liked my weed sign.
Yes, because I love his honesty. That was the quote I put when I blasted you on Facebook. Because I just thought it was just, I could feel your energy and that you were real and open. Just be real. Don't bullshit me. I have a lady that lives in our neighborhood, and she's been looking for a bus ticket for 3 years, and she smokes it, and just, she's not looking for a bus ticket.
Yeah.
I've offered to help her, get the things that she needs to get out of that, to get out of that struggle, and she doesn't want it, and you can't help everyone, and that's okay, but no, you're real. You're good people.
Well, I appreciate you, and I look forward to showing off the beauty of the moment when I get to go and hug my mom thanks to you.
Yes, I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I wish we could go. I'm so excited. Let's go.
Yeah. Well, thanks again. Thank you so much.
No problem. My pleasure.
And honestly, from a lot of people that I know I can tell care and that are watching these videos, thank you for them too.
Yes, thank you.